Most people assume that if they don't have a six-figure income or a massive investment account, they're bad with money. But what if I told you that in many cases, you're already doing better than you think, and that the habits you dismiss as nothing special are exactly what smart, long-term wealth builders lean on? This is Zero to Wealth, and I help people understand money in a calm, honest way, not to make them rich overnight, but to build financial confidence for the long run. Today, I want to show you signs that your financial life is stronger than you give it credit for. Here's something I hear all the time. I still feel like I can't get ahead. I don't have a retirement fund yet. I'm just barely breaking even each month. Even if you are building good habits, saving, maybe investing, paying down debt, you might overlook how far you've come. Those internal doubts, comparisons to others, or unrealistic finance guru standards can make you minimize your own progress. What if part of the problem isn't your habits, but your perspective? If you can spot the signs that you're already doing well, you'll shift your mindset, and that shift can change your financial trajectory more than any hack. Let's start with a few data-backed truths about how Americans are saving, investing, and building financial resilience, and why you being in the game already is a very big deal. More people are investing than you think. According to Gallup, 62% of U.S. adults now report owning stock, whether through retirement accounts, mutual funds, or individual shares. That means a majority of people are exposed to markets. If you're part of that, even in a small way, you've already crossed a major threshold. Household allocations to equities are at record highs. Data from the Federal Reserve, visualized by Visual Capitalist, shows that about 41.6% of U.S. households' financial assets are now tied to public stocks. That's not just a savings mindset, that's a growth mindset. If your financial plan includes exposure like this, you are competing with long-term wealth builders. Attitudes toward investing are improving. According to a survey of 75,000 U.S. households, the percentage of people who feel experienced with investing is at its highest recorded level, 31%. Financial technology, better access to investment platforms, and increased financial education are enabling more regular people to feel like serious investors, not just spectators. Financial confidence is growing. According to the Charles Schwab Modern Wealth Survey, 2024, nearly 80% of New Yorkers say they're in a better position to reach their financial goals than past generations. Even more broadly, people believe they have more tools and more access than ever before, more investment options, better tech, more information. Here's something I realized about my own journey. For the longest time, I was too focused on where I wasn't. I watched creators with massive portfolios, people paying off six-figure debt, or people quitting their day jobs to be financially free, and I measured my value by that benchmark. Then one day, I sat down and listed out my real habits. A regular savings discipline, a small investment in a low-cost index fund. A side hustle that added a buffer to my income. A plan, not perfect, but actionable, for my future. And I realized, these are not just okay habits. They add up, they compound, and they put me in a place where I can grow, with humility, but with real momentum. That was the turning point. I stopped underestimating myself, not because I became greedy, but because I started valuing progress over perfection. If you want to lean into the fact that you're already doing well, here are steps to amplify that mindset and build on your solid foundation. Track your wins, not just your gaps. Once a week, write down 3 financial things you did well, no matter how small. Could be, you saved a little this week. You paid more than the minimum on a credit card. You didn't spend on something you were tempted to buy. Over time, you'll see real progress that isn't just waiting for some huge moment. Automate your money in motion. Do you already send money to savings or investing? Automate that. Set up automatic transfers to a brokerage or retirement account. Use auto-invest features, like recurring purchases of ETFs or index funds. Automation turns your good habits into consistent growth, without relying on willpower. Make a confidence checklist. Write down things in your financial life that prove you're doing better than you think. Potential items. I have more than one source of income, job, side hustle, etc. I own some investments, even if small. I have a plan for emergencies. I think about my financial future, retirement, big goals. Revisit this checklist monthly. Let it remind you that you're not just surviving, you're progressing. Educate, but don't be overwhelmed by noise. Financial technology is booming. More people are using AI, robo-advisors, and new tools to invest. But education is key. Pick one area to learn about: ETFs, retirement accounts, or even sustainable investing. Use good sources: books, podcasts, simple courses. Don't get distracted by every shiny trend. Consistency matters more than timing. Set intentional goals, not vague dreams. Instead of saying, "I want to be rich," try, "I want to build an emergency fund that covers 6 months. I want to invest $200 per month. I want to grow my side income by 10% this year." These goals reflect the behaviors you already have. When you hit them, celebrate. They're living proof you're capable. Reframe setbacks as learning, not failure. It's okay if your investments dip, or if your spending doesn't align perfectly each month. When things go wrong, ask, what went off course? Learn, could I tweak something in my system? Act, adjust, but don't reset to 0. 10. You're building resilience, not chasing perfection. Here's what actually matters. Financial strength isn't defined by how fast you get rich. It's defined by how consistently you build good habits, how resilient you are in the face of setbacks, and how much you believe in your own capacity to grow. If you're saving, investing even a little, thinking about your future, you're already playing the long game. You may not feel like a finance expert, but you don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up. When you spot the signs that you're better with money than you think, you stop living in a cycle of self-doubt. You stop chasing someone else's definition of success. Instead, you build your own, grounded in reality, not in anxiety or comparison. If you want more breakdowns like this, calm, data-driven, and focused on real progress, feel free to subscribe. I post videos that build financial confidence without stressing over every dollar.